I've just got back from the shops and I'm going to prepare a healthy meal. Before eating or when preparing a meal, I always try to reflect on how grateful I am to having this access to food that's healthy and nourishing. And I think this is something that's so easy to take for granted. So one thing I'm doing is I'm trying to be a lot more mindful of the food that I'm eating. To do this, I try and be aware of how my body feels throughout the rest of the day, and even to take note the next morning how I wake up. Am I energized? Am I dehydrated? How does my tummy feel? I think all these things are a great indicator of what I'm eating and how it affects the rest of my body. So the first question I asked myself was, what is something big or small I accomplished this week? So for me, it was preparing and filming my first YouTube video. But sometimes it might be getting up earlier than I normally would, doing a workout, going to the gym, even just eating a healthy meal. I think it's so important to celebrate any wins, no matter if they're big or small. The next question I asked was, what is an affirmation or goal that aligns with my intentions for the week ahead? So a quote that stood out to me that I really want to bring into the next week is, knowledge isn't power until it's applied. The next question I asked myself was, what limiting beliefs did not serve me? I've been having feelings that I'm not enough and I'm not worthy. My last question was, what self-care practices have been working well for me recently? So here I wrote down doing my nails, going to the beach, reading, listening to podcasts, gratitude, focusing on bringing more love into my life, healthy eating, and tidying up. I'm going to focus on not putting so much pressure on myself all the time with feeling the need to make everything perfect. I feel like I've been so focused on self-development and becoming the best version of me that I've forgotten about just being me. I've been so obsessed with seeing myself as a project that I've forgotten about living and loving myself now as I am in this moment. Whilst I do value having a commitment to learning and being the best version of me, I think part of that journey is also applying those things I'm learning into my life right now. Reading books, studying and listening to podcasts is great, but I need to take the time to reflect on what this means and how I can implement it into living and loving the life that I have. I don't want to use self-development as a form of avoidance or escapism. I want it to enhance my life and those around me. But I can't do that unless I actually start stepping out of my comfort zone, trusting myself, and allowing myself to make mistakes. I'm going to remind myself that I'm not always going to show up to the expectations I've set. Something else I'm trying to be more mindful of is bringing more movement into my daily life. So today I'm grabbing out my yoga mat and I'm setting up to do a light workout, just doing some stretches. I'm now taking a few minutes to slow down and center myself with some meditation. To me, this is about finding stillness and peace within. For today's meditation, I'm doing the 5-5-5 breathing technique. So I will be breathing in slowly for 5 seconds, breathing out for 5 seconds, and holding for 5 seconds. I encourage you to join me and find a comfortable spot, and let's dive into this moment of relaxation together. Breathing in and breathing out and holding. Breathing in and releasing and holding the breath. Breathing in and out and holding. And our final breath in, breath out, and holding. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you feel refreshed, recharged, and ready to take on whatever comes your way. Remember, it's about those little moments of self-care that make a big difference. Until next time, I send love and light your way. Take care.